Rovos Rail in focus. Rovos Rail has really set the benchmark for luxury train holidays, and it remains one of the most coveted rail experiences on the continent. Established in 1989, Rovos was quick to gain an international fan base amongst first-class travelers looking for a unique and more than comfortable travel experience. With train routes designed to take travelers through a range of beautiful destinations that can't be fully appreciated or sometimes even experienced when traveling by car, Rovos Rail has ushered in a new golden age of upmarket travel. Catering to only 72 passengers at a time, a trip feels much like a private experience. And along with enjoying a myriad of exquisite sights, as the train moves through the countryside, guests also stop at various destinations for an off-train adventure or two. Why Rovos Rail is famous? Rovos Rail is not famous just because it has that traditional look so seldom seen these days, but because the whole concept is formed around giving modern travelers that one thing they've been missing. Rovos Rail was built on a simple but powerful idea, that travel should be slow and steady so that you can take it all in instead of rushing through it. At a time when speed, for some reason, became synonymous with luxury, Rovos chose to do the exact opposite with its path. Through its unique travel concept, its reputation has grown steadily, and today it's a real one-of-a-kind trip. The carriages have all been lovingly restored, down to the last detail. On board, you'll be treated to Edwardian-era style mixed with contemporary elements, which come together beautifully to create something old-world, but thoroughly luxurious and comfortable. Rich wood paneling, polished brass, spacious suites, and discreet air conditioning have given the Rovos Rail train an atmosphere that looks and feels genuine, rather than the look just being a theme. This gives travelers an authentic journey that allows them to sink in and enjoy every moment. What also makes Rovos Rail so famous is its approach to service. The staff on board have become exceptionally good at being able to anticipate what it is that travelers need, creating an environment where guests feel genuinely looked after. Since this is a luxury trip, you can expect to be in the best of hands regardless of which destination you're traveling to. The routes are equally exceptional, further adding to the popularity of this rail trip, with each route designed to show off Southern Africa gradually and with the intention that you see it in the best way. All in all, this is the ultimate choice of holiday for anyone who is looking for a unique way to see the best of Africa. What a Rovos rail journey actually feels like. Life on board follows a gentle, reassuring rhythm, mimicking that of the train as it rolls along the tracks. The mornings begin with soft light spilling through the train's numerous wide picture windows as it glides past farmland, desert plains, waterfalls, or distant mountain ranges. Breakfast is served in the dining cars, where crisp linen, fine china, and silverware are the norm, and make the experience a truly elegant affair. Because the train is built around giving travelers a slow, luxurious travel experience, travelers can look forward to an unhurried day. Part of the appeal of a Rovos rail trip is the scheduled off-train excursions, which are led by knowledgeable guides who can give travelers insight into the places they are touring, painting a story that allows each person to absorb each place at their own pace. Between excursions, there's plenty of downtime to enjoy. Guests can relax in the train's lounge or observation car, read, write, nap, or simply watch the landscape roll by. Afternoons are designed to be laid back, with guests enjoying solitude or a bit of socializing, depending on what they are in the mood for. Dinner is a bit of a social occasion, with guests encouraged to dress up in formal attire. An indulgent multi-course meal is served, and although the evening meals are a fancy event, the vibe is still relaxed. Rovos rail journeys are fully inclusive. That means accommodation, all meals, beverages, and even the off-train excursions are covered, removing any stress that might affect other luxury rail holidays in Africa. How long does a Rovos rail journey last? Rovos Rail is one of the most evocative ways to experience Africa by train. Itineraries range from intimate 2- and 3-night journeys to grand crossings that span several weeks and cover a wide variety of destinations. One of the most popular routes, Pretoria to Cape Town, allows travelers to watch South Africa's landscape change slowly and visibly, from high-veld grasslands to the vineyards of the Cape winelands. Other journeys, those that are a lot longer, take guests as far as Tanzania's capital on an exciting 16-day odyssey. To give you a more detailed idea about what to expect, these are the itineraries that Rovos has become famous for. Pretoria to Cape Town, or vice versa. This is the quintessential Rovos Rail tour, and it takes place over 3 glorious days. Aboard the train, you'll glide from the high-veld grasslands through the semi-arid Karoo to the dramatic escarpment mountains and vineyards of the Western Cape. Some of the off-train highlights include a deep dive into Kimberley's diamond mining history and a stroll through the perfectly preserved Victorian village of Matjiesfontein. You can end or begin in Cape Town, and there's plenty of time to kick your feet up somewhere in the winelands. Durban Safari, Pretoria to Durban. This 2-day compact coastal trip will take you through the picturesque Valley of 1,000 Hills. When off-train, you'll venture into the Kingdom of Eswatini, go on a thrilling game drive in Hluhluwe Mfolozi, and enjoy the sights and sounds of Durban. Victoria Falls, Pretoria to Victoria Falls. David Livingstone described the Victoria Falls as scenes so lovely must have been gazed upon by angels in their flight, and you really have to see it for yourself to appreciate how right he was in his words. This Rovos route passes through Warmbaths, Bella Bella, and into Zimbabwe's wild frontiers, culminating at the thunderous Mosi Oa-Tunya, the smoke that thunders, the Victoria Falls. The trip includes a few optional adventures such as sunset cruises, helicopter flights over the falls, or game viewing. Golf Safari. This is a niche trip, but one you'll adore if you love world-class golf. The off-train stops on this tour focus on visiting premier courses, taking in the stunning natural backdrops, and just enjoying the whole train experience. Namibia Safari, Pretoria to Walvis Bay/Swakopmund. This trip will take you west into Namibia's otherworldly terrain. First, you'll traverse the Northern Cape's arid beauty, then you'll see the Fish River Canyon, second only to the Grand Canyon, and quiver tree forests, before reaching the cold and sometimes foggy Atlantic coast. Desert dunes, wildlife, and the wide-open coast make this trip a visual feast for photographers and anyone else wanting to explore one of Africa's most extreme places. Southern Cross. This trip will take you through the eastern panorama of South Africa and then on to Eswatini, Mozambique, and Zimbabwe. Some of the attractions include the dramatic Blyde River Canyon along the Panorama Route, game drives in the Kruger National Park, and various cultural stops. This tour is rich in biodiversity, and you'll have plenty of scenic variety to keep you entertained. African Collage and African Trilogy. This option includes numerous flexible multi-destination experiences stitched together shorter routes for a comprehensive trip. The trilogy covers a huge distance, starting in Pretoria and taking guests through Eswatini, down through KwaZulu-Natal, and then around and up into Namibia. It is a journey of 15 days. Cape Town to Dar es Salaam. This is Rovos Rail's most extensive tour, a true trans-African odyssey that'll take you through South Africa, Botswana, Zimbabwe, Zambia, and Tanzania. You'll walk the Kalahari's edge, cross iconic bridges, see the Chishimba Falls, and experience the endless wilderness that Southern Africa is famous for. Reverse options, Dar es Salaam to Cape Town, are also available. This is a bucket list trip. Is Rovos Rail a good way to see Africa? For travelers who value context over quantity, Rovos Rail is hands down one of the best ways to see Africa. The train trips move through landscapes, historic towns, and quiet stations that are rarely encountered by those who travel exclusively by air or even road. This perspective introduces you to a slower, more human Africa, one shaped by daily life rather than headline attractions. Off-train excursions are also carefully chosen to complement the journey. These may include visits to private game reserves, cultural landmarks, or natural sites that deepen one's understanding rather than distract from the overall experience. Most of those who travel to Africa come here for a safari, and a Rovos Rail trip pairs beautifully with one. Luxury train holidays in South Africa can include safaris and private reserves, and trips to wine estates or coastal retreats, creating an itinerary that gives you the complete African experience. For some, this will be a once-in-a-lifetime journey. For others, it becomes the standard against which all of their future travel is measured. With limited cabins and high demand, particularly during the upcoming peak travel periods in 2026, delaying a booking means missing out on your preferred travel dates. If slow travel and utter luxury speak to you, now is the moment to reserve your place on Rovos Rail. Let our team help you plan and book a rail journey worthy of the anticipation.